Hello and welcome. It's that of the 6th of December 2018, and Bitcoin is now at lows not seen in, or price not seen in 15 months. With what is going on, a lot of volatility, which is something I've been welcoming, as the volatility, of course, beforehand has been quite weak. We can see within the 1 hour time frame how it was doing such within the 18 of lows, and just it's been just in a downtrend for quite some time. 4 hour chart, similar deal. And on the inverse TUSD chart, great support found on its lows within the 18, now just breaking that level of resistance. So that's why I'm fully expecting there's a very high likelihood that my 3,000 buy orders or the price should hit that 3,000 pretty soon. And when I say 3,000 buy orders, I kind of mean a hair under 33,333. On the single hour time frame, you see how it just lifted off there. In the daily time frame, very much the pattern just looks so bullish on this level that that leg higher was going to come into play. After several days, how it performed amongst the 18 average. A new session's coming into place because it is 1951 hours, which means UTC, it is just started 51 minutes into the new day. Altcoins getting their asses kicked, as well as I would expect. Dash just took a decent hit. This is what its daily looks like, and on the single hour time frame, nothing but straight down action, and a lot of other coins sharing similar results. EOS in a lot of bad shape as well. I do have one high known coin that actually does look good right now against Bitcoin, but we'll wait till the end before that. But we can see on the daily time frame, weekly time frame, just and now within this here weekly chart, it's reached this previous level of key support. So if I'm ever looking to say when's the time to buy when it goes down, and for me it's just starting to be the case as it has broken this support. But it could even pierce below and even go well into the 40s, especially if there's further decline. But one of the things I'm going to be wondering or looking for is how well Bitcoin 3000 support does play after that, because obviously we're close now. And in such an event, will a lot of these other coins have some nice little bounces where right now, of all my altcoins, and I got like 50, 60 of them, not a single one of them is over like 4% over, no, 4% over my medium value, meaning they're all down from my last trade. One's up 4% from it. And that's the ones against Bitcoin. So the one that I'm going to be showing you is actually against Litecoin. That's doing very well, but I'm going to show it to you after the bad coins, or not the bad coins, but the ones getting their asses kicked. Ethereum Classic, we can see on the daily time frame just grinding its way lower, but on the weekly, it's way overextended. A very good choppy chart, and this is Binance, and it's just meaning there's more data with other ones, but nonetheless, again, something I'd be looking to buy as far as looking, because it's so cheap. This is probably one of them. I already own it, so I'm going to be most likely getting a buy order fill any time. And if I'm seeing 991, how did I not? I guess my buy order must be like 950. I'm guessing, because I haven't bought this recent in a little bit. So next coin will be most likely Ethereum, because I'm just going in chronological order. I know it's not doing so well. There we go. Because I know I looked at it earlier. I haven't bought this yet. I got a buy order coming in relatively soon, as it's one of my weakest links of its numbers state it's close to a buy for me. But when you look at this on the weekly chart as well, is this a time to buy? Not yet, because this line, we have support here, we have support here, and it could go in here. Now, with that being said, if you don't have a position, you look to enter into some, it's better to do it now than when markets are well above the 18 of highs. Now, of course, this has been sustained below the 18 of lows for quite some time. Next up is Chainlink, and it has just broken a very key level of support, which is this trend line. And as we see with this on the shorter term time frame, has since just been grinding its way lower to key levels. So therefore, this probably has the potential to the next level of support is around 54.90, and I would think go down to in about 43. Will See how this continues on going further. But again, the pattern of coming down to this level, resisting this, not finding key support at the 18 average of lows, and we can see falling through there. Decent size decline at that point. And it's had a good run, but that's what I'm looking for. Decent gains up, decent gains down, buy as it moves higher, or excuse me, sell as it moves higher, buy as it moves lower. Quickly switching off to the Ethereum exchange against Litecoin. And Litecoin's not doing as bad as Ethereum, I guess, within how this is looking. And from this support test at the 23 handle, it has established big resistance here about the 29 change, 29 and a half. And we can see after a couple days being at the 18 average of highs on the daily that it on today's Thursday session had this decent green candle breaking through above such, and we can see here that maybe breaking above this resistance, it might have a decent leg higher. Not much data with Myth, but from failed moves come fast moves, and when you see a move above the 18 average of highs, it goes sideways, obviously gets above it, doesn't support the 18 lows at the 2480 level. Now it's at 2025. It is broken down below this level of support. So I wouldn't be surprised if this has another decent leg lower, maybe reach an area at around maybe in the 1700s. To me, I'm looking at how big of a move is. And to me, this isn't a decent leg lower. Usually, I mean, you could have large moves as well, but I'm looking for moves that where you feel the passing the eye test, breaking here, probably going somewhere down there. Neo, this broke down below this level of key support. We can see very fast move that transpired. We'll place a little line here, shorten up the time frame, and see after it broke down below the 18 lows, it had a very decent sized decline, and well, nice one here, or nice grinding one if you look at it that way. Then its correctionary move failed, and fast down move thereafter that. Omi's Go has broken down below this level of key support. It's been down for a little bit. We look at this on a weekly term time frame. This level of support, which was established at the end of last year, was congested within for quite some time, and it's just now broken down below that. So the open of this was 20. So that would be the only previous area level I can go with, and anywhere in the 2022 range, 23 range, even 18, whatever, in that ballpark area, would be about a decent sized leg lower from this low towards where the next one would be, 25, even 26. And the market's going to do what it's going to do. For me, I'm holding and I'm waiting for buy orders to come in. If they fill, I'm going to hit. And if the market goes up, I'm going to have my sell orders again. I know a lot of people know that's my strategy, and I've talked a lot about it, but let's move on. Ontology on the daily time frame is next, and we can see on its daily how this level of previous low support area has been taken out. We're looking at this on the weekly term. This might have a decent point because it's just leaving the 18. So again, maybe it could lose even 500 points would be like nothing, and as far as I'm concerned, even going to 700-800 and losing half of its value. In this type of market, no big surprise. This thing was at 10,000 just last summer. Now it's at 1,500, or it's lost about 7x already. QTUM is next, and it had this been having this decent sized decline on the daily term. We look at this on the weekly. Had some of these interesting periods early on at the end of the year and the end of last year in December. But it's broken down below this level of support, leaving the 18 average after this correctionary move. So I wouldn't be surprised if this one has a move into the 300s, maybe a decline of 70, 80 or so points thereafter. And if it does, I'll have a buy order ready. If not, again, I'll be looking to sell, because a lot of times for me, I'm like, oh, okay, I'm going to sell a bunch here, and then I wait to buy, and then it just goes up on me. So I'll just let the market do its thing. Steam continues a big decline. Back in the autumn time, this was like 1,400, so it's lost half of its value since then. On the weekly chart, this continues to go down, this should be 3 zeros before, 4 zeros before. 6 number is a key number I remember from last year. But I look at this, okay, breaking the 1,000 number. You know what, 700 is okay. I think I'd like to, for what the leg lower is, you go from 2,000. The next leg lower is 1,000. So you think, you know what, half of its value, maybe a little over 500, 550. I'd be thinking breaking down below this 18 average of lows as a possible buy target, or not. Well, yeah, if you play it, that's where the buy target. But I would say price objective, and when there's a price objective going to the downside, that's when I'm a buyer. And when I see price objectives of potential resistance to the upside, that's when I'm a seller. Next, we have Storm, which had this rally on November 28th, getting above the 18 average of highs, supporting the lows a couple days later, not able to get above. And you can say, oh man, that's just bad for the coin. Well, the entire market's falling, so it's just going to fall with it. Because when you look at how things are going, all coins are pretty much declining. So it's not like it's this coin or any of the others that are bad. It's that the entire market's having a capitulation distribution phase right now. Stellar, we had this uptrend line, however you want to draw it. It got broken. It came up to the 18 average at the end of November. Now several days in a row amongst the decline. Amongst its weekly term time frame, just a beautiful rally in October into, everything had those rallies last year, but this one was better than a lot of the other coins. But it held really well. Not many coins were able to stay above their November lows like this one. But you can draw an uptrend line in here, so we have like a symmetrical triangle now at the support level, as it's really easy to draw an uptrend line here and a downtrend line from the 2018 early highs and early lows. So big things should happen very soon. To me, if I think it comes down here, I mean, I'm going to be expecting it to pop, and this would be like where a decent leg lower would be. Maybe a previous low test around 21. That's probably just going to pop and have at least a resistance test at around 32. Situation where I'd say, if you buy here, I think it's both a bullish and bearish situation, or it's where if it's bearish, it wouldn't surprise me if we go to point A low at 22, point B high near 33 something area, 32, and then of course break the low and make new ones later on a bearish situation. Stellar Lumen is next, and continuous days down, well below the 18 average, having a support test of previous low. To me, decent leg lower from here. It's an area where I'd be expecting a level of support, but maybe it does come down and test this low some more, especially if the rest of the markets continue to decline over the next several hours or in the next couple of days. Weekly term time frame, here's another situation of that symmetrical triangle look as well, and holding well, and we don't see holding well below its November lows. Switching over to Verge, this thing in November was down to 143, up to 238, now back down to 168. Falling below the 18 average of lows. Now the question is going to hold and stay below it. The next key support level would be a drop down towards here. But within such, that's the crazy volatility for me. All these sell orders here, while now buying that stuff back. ZEC breaking down below this level, or at least it's testing this level of support further, more than anything. And within such, I know I got all these lines in here. I can probably remove them, although I can remove them. That we'll see how it does. Breaking down this level of support could be very interesting. So I said there was one coin that I thought looked pretty good. I found another one as well, and Ripple, not doing it much now, but has a nice longer term look. As we'll go to that one next, because on the daily term time frame for such, it's just consolidating within these 18 average of lows. So that's definitely a weak signal, knowing that if you break support at around 87. This thing could be easily in line for at least a 10% decline. But within the weekly term time frame, this is a situation in which it established this level of resistance on September the 17th and has managed to come back to the 18 average for a little over a month, 4 or 5 periods, break it on the November 12th one, and then consolidate it sideways for 2 consecutive ones. And even on this one, just very low volatility within the current week, but staying above this, I think it's going to be important for it to hold this previous level of resistance at 7,300, which should coincide with the 18 average of lows in the next couple of weeks, or any price decline making it down there. And if it does so and gets above this level of resistance, then we could be looking at a test of the highs from earlier this year, close to 2,500. And now let's finish off with two more coins, one being Tron. And on the daily term time frame, it had its rally on November the 28th. But since that point, it has spent the last little over 1 week consolidating sideways throughout and finding support in the 18 average. The session on December the 4th managed to have a nice little short-term breakout. And since then, it's been holding it for a decent period of time. 4 hour time frame has consolidated very nicely, and on the weekly it may not look, it's just doing a whole bunch of nothing when it comes down to it, but any type of rally you'd be expecting to establish a level of resistance, and decently above the 18 average of highs we'd be looking at about 430. Of course, if we have a situation where maybe Bitcoin goes down to like 2600, 2500, that may, and all the altcoins continue to go down, then we just might easily have a support test of the 18 average of lows, which of course, if it breaks down from here, is where I would expect the market to have a test of support, maybe even pierce below it a little bit and even test some of this previous level of resistance. Doggy is the final coin. And this one here, which has been in a downtrend since the September highs, little over 100, losing a little more than half its value, going down to 45, currently in at 59. But as we can see in here, it had its rally from this point up to about 60. Successful support within the 18 average, and a couple days ago breaking out above it, holding today on Thursday within its session so far. So it looks breaking out of about 61, 62, that this thing might have the potential to even get to maybe between 70 and 80. But for me, let's just finish this off by putting Bitcoin in and concluding this video. And I'm just going to keep playing this strategy because that's, to me, the best way to go. Because I realize that these coins, these market prices, they go up, they go down. And whenever it seems that things look so bad, everyone panics. Well, oftentimes you're going to get a decent sized rally after that. And when things look so amazing, well, then people think it can't lose. It's just going to keep going up forever. Yet point A low, point B high, all back and forth. It's going to go up. It's going to go down. It's been going down now. After it's going down, finished going down, it's going to start going up again. So be it. Thank you for tuning in to this video, and have yourself a great day. Bye-bye.